Hello there, my name is Rachel. I'd like to talk about animation, and today we'll talk about episode 5, episode 6 of Adventure Time. And this two episode was still amazing. The musicals, the animation, the story, the lore. I mean, they keep adding new lore things that you think they're done with that sort of part, and they still continue on because they can. And that's the interesting part because episode 5 sort of return of what happened on season 5 of the original Adventure Time, that what if uh, Finn become the Ice King? What will lead to that? And I was so surprised they went to that universe specifically to continue on the story. If you don't know, that universe, magic technically doesn't exist because something went wrong and nobody got what they wanted. In other words, it just became sort of normal, sort of apocalyptic sort of society, but only one magic exists, especially the crown. And because the Finn was there, he was sort of desperate to survive and help his family. He put on the crown to save everyone, but the only unfortunately thing is when you wear the crown, you become mad. Even if you're trying to do this something normal, you can't control yourself. And that's sort of what happened of that universe. At least what happened in season 5 of the original Adventure Time. And this episode sort of explored that, like what happened to Finn, what happened to everyone of that universe. And that's sort of what continued on because it left off Simon, Cake, and Fionna asking Simon he needs to find the crown. But why? Like, can he control it? Even that they agree, can Simon put back Fionna Cake back in his head and save the universe? There's a lot of questions that not really 100% sure, but Simon believes that could be possible. But in theory, but the only problem is Fionna Cake is just too trusting to Simon because they believe, oh, Simon can fix everything. But if you compare to Finn and Jake, even they were sort of questioning, like, are you sure this is a good idea? Because if you watch the original, Finn and Jake are crazy, but they're not stupid. They are realizing there always are consequences. And Fionna Cake, you see how lack experience they actually have, not fully asking those questions. Not just that, that having this adventure looking this crown, that not realizing maybe you have to keep it on down low and sort of observe around them what's actually going on of this society because they're not realizing for a little while magic doesn't really exist in the universe, and little by little they start realizing, but also realizing the new rules of this universe because you have this gang called Destiny Gang who basically sort of control this part of the place, but at the same time they are threatening anybody has powers or magic, so they defeat them. You also have sort of a Romeo and Juliet sort of storyline, specifically of Finn's own kids, and you realize, wait, Finn has a kid, not one, several of them, but we don't know who is the woman who gave birth. My opinion is partly adopted children, at least because it's Finn, he has no luck with women, but besides that, we find them sort of trying to look for the crown kinda quietly because Fionna Cake still don't have no experience asking questions. He also threaten people's lives. That is not the wisest thing to do because they don't know what you're talking about. If they do, they probably trick them to escape. But because of their inexperience, they do kind of attract the wrong people, specifically the Destiny King, who kind of curious what this is. What do you mean the crown? And this was sort of interesting because you see how unexperienced a Fionna Cake really are, not understanding how to fight. Specifically, Cake, who wants her to use her magic but doesn't know how to control it, or Fionna how to fight officially because she has no experience, no muscle mass enough to actually have a fight. And that not yet fully realize it yet, except for Simon because he kind of understands the situation. But lucky for them, Finn's son saves them because Finn's son trying to help his sort of girlfriend to survive whatever illness maybe they can help him, showing his own father. But interesting enough, you find out what happened to Finn in this universe, that he survived, but still sort of damaged. He's still sort of kind of broken. He became sort of like his father of this universe, because his father was sort of very uncompromising, in other words. It sort of became something like his father, but more open a little bit more. He still trusts his kids, trying not to condemn them, try to keep them safe. But you see, he's broken. He's sort of almost done. Of course, he didn't have his kids. He probably ended his life. That's at least how I interpret it. But I found it sort of fascinating. He doesn't want to do nothing with magic. He's just done with it. But because Fionna, Cake, and Simon need the crown to sort of do what they need to do, Finn doesn't want to do anything. But unfortunately, one of his kids wants to help out, wants to have sort of their adventure, but they also have an excuse because they need magic to save one of their girlfriends. So they kind of show him where the crown sort of is, or at least was, because this version of the crown was destroyed. We don't know why. Maybe later on of this miniseries they explain why the crown was destroyed, but it was. But I'm wondering, what was the thing that destroyed the crown? What was powerful enough to challenge Finn, Ice Finn in this version, and make him back to normal? It's sort of interesting. We probably would never have the answers, at least not right now. But we do know, one, the crystal of the crown did survive, and they probably use that to help them to use the control, to actually jump different universes. But unfortunately, the Scarab found them, trying to destroy them, and kill Simon, Fionna, and Cake. But unfortunately, they survived and jumped a different universe. But unfortunately, Finn probably died. At least that's how I interpret it. I don't know you. Maybe he did, maybe not. Tell me down below you think Finn survived. Now, episode 6 was a doozy, because episode 6 was sort of a musical montage Christmas special, was just great. This episode feels so much Christmas-y, but yet sort of many questions asked even that, because this sort of winter wonderland was sort of created by the Ice King. That this version of Ice King was sort of self-aware. He has fully control, or better yet, the perfect Simon, the Simon that he wants to be. But our Simon call that BS, because it's almost impossible, because magic can actually screw you up. The reason why he's still mentally attacked, because he's sort of obsessed with his wife Betty. It's the only way he keep his mind in check. If he didn't, he went crazy. And that's why he doesn't understand how this version of Simon could actually make this magical world possible. How he controlled the magic, that the magic control him. And this version of Simon, or the Ice King of this version, tells him, oh, he tried. He really tried so hard. He went to the next level to control the magic because he can. He chose it. And that sounds very positive, very possible, especially in Adventure Time, because Adventure Time, they just throw things to the wall, just believe. And that could be possible, but Simon didn't. He felt something is wrong. And he was right, because this version of Simon, the ultimate Simon, was hiding something to reveal what happened to Bubblegum, or Candy Queen. That she went mad at this version, quickly was obsessed with this Simon, capture him, and started trying to dare him or marry him. But at least that's what we interpreted, because you find later on, no, this version of Bubblegum went mad just because. It's because this version of Simon throws the madness of magic to Bubblegum, so he had full control of his own body and mind, so he doesn't need to deal with it. And that's what happened to Bubblegum. She went berserk, crazy, mad, thinking that she was in love with this version of Simon, but yet no, she's trying to figure out how to kill off this Simon so she had fully control of her mind and her soul. And that's sort of interesting, because we just didn't understand what's going on. it was interesting to see Bubblegum truly being crazy. But be fair, Bubblegum is a tyrant. Don't forget all the horrible things she has done to Finn, to the crown, to her own people, to everyone. So, yeah, they sort of deserve it in a way. But besides that, I found it fascinating that what happened to Fionna Cake, other version of Bubblegum, and Marceline, what the guy version, what happened to them? Because they were sort of panicking what happened to Fionna, but they started having sort of a romantic fling of that version of Fiona's universe, their version. It was sort of interesting how they met, how their relationships are building, how their version of Bubblegum, the male version, is preparing to make cake, to sell this to make his career, and martial Lee or martial law, this version, helped them to make the cake, to sell of the Lemon Sisters, to help their bubblegum male part to be successful, but what went wrong. But it's almost everything was positive, was interesting, was sweet. But I was more fascinated about Simon, the ultimate Simon, what he became that. That was pretty interesting. But besides that, I love it when everything went wrong, specifically with Fionna, that she got what her wanted, she got the Adventure Time experience, that she saved the king, destroyed all the evil bad guys, and realizing that was sort of a lie, that he probably killed innocent people or innocent candy, and started realizing maybe she doing something complete wrong. Like she knows something is wrong, but she not yet fully realizing what she did wrong. And I like that sort of process. She's sort of understanding. I mean, it helped realizing when she kissed the Ice King, becoming old, destroying the curse, and killing the Ice King. Kind of clicking, yeah, something went wrong here. Besides that, it was messed up, but sort of interesting finding realizing, yeah, maybe I tried to maybe focus what's wrong. And I thought that sort of fascinating. But all of that would actually happen this two episodes. It was great. It was interesting. It was fun. It was endearing. It was everything you want in Adventure Time, but more older. Of course, I had to mention, it was sort of disturbing how Fionna was keeping up all the candy people, how slicing and dicing they were. It was sort of odd, especially you know all the characters, you feel a little bit wrong what happened to them. But besides that, I can't say much. Just one question: how you felt about this two episodes? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.